Hi, good afternoon. My name's Olivia. I'm also known as Olivia K on Facebook, Ollie K on Instagram, and Warren Yam 9800 on Reddit. So I talk about nursing related materials a lot, but I try to split it with reacting to reality TV shows, documentaries, or anything else, or even like the movies or something that just came out. Like, for instance, Michael Jackson, the Michael movie just came out like 2 weeks ago, and that's still playing theaters. So I reacted to that. My reaction, because I went to opening day, and I do react to documentaries. I'm going to react one now today, actually. As a matter of fact, I'm about to react one. I do also react to different topics related to healthcare or anything else, and I do have a playlist of documentaries, TV shows, or like reality TV shows, and then I Love Is Blind, because there's like 10 seasons, and I don't think I'm going to watch anything beyond that. But those are my reactions if you get bored of hearing my nursing related stuff. And I did just do a video on the NCLEX test plan. So if you really want to know how to study properly and sort of like get an idea of where to start before you take your test, there's a video on that. You can watch it, get some ideas. So instead of talking about technology and how it goes hand in hand in healthcare and what I think about it, I'm going to save that for Monday, because I need to do a little more research before really getting into it and saying my thoughts and opinions on that anyway. So I should have some time tomorrow to look into it and then push it back to Monday instead. I'd rather talk about Eric Dane, the documentary. And it does, of course, really relate to healthcare regardless. It's really sad, and I kind of want to talk about it. Okay, so for starters, ALS is a progressive disease that affects your motor neurons. So you eventually lose function in your hands, then progresses to your legs, and then soon you have to use a wheelchair to get around. Then you start to notice your speech declining, and then you can't articulate your words as well. It's really a heartbreaking thing to witness. I think I took care of one patient with ALS before, but I was like early back then when I was doing clinical for my practical nursing. Have I taken care of anyone with ALS recently? No, but I have in my early clinical days. So ALS, also known as the Lou Gehrig's disease. I forgot the name of the disease. They call it in England, but that is basically an umbrella of the disease processes. I know Stephen Hawking had it for a long time, so he lived longer than most people, because when you hear someone gets ALS, that's usually a death sentence, and they don't have long to live. So most people, they kind of have to put their ducks in a row and make plans as they're still battling this disease. It's really devastating. It's more quickly progressed than Alzheimer's. So that's another topic I'm going to go over on these topics that I know of and take care of, because I have taken care of Alzheimer's patients, and I have personal knowledge of it and dealt with it all my life. So, but that's going to be a separate topic. But back to ALS and Eric Dane. So, for background, Eric Dane, I first saw him in Grey's Anatomy, and I used to watch that show for fun because it was such a fun show and whatnot. Even though it wasn't all, and like I've said before, Grey's Anatomy is not medically accurate. No, it's not. But it's a TV show. That's the fun about it, right? And you had Patrick Dempsey was McDreamy. Eric Dane was McSteamy, right? That guy was so gorgeous. He was such a beautiful guy. Every woman had to have tuned in to Grey's Anatomy every week just to see him on the TV. Because, my God, that guy hunk. okay? Gorgeous. He was married to Rebecca Gayheart, and I do remember her face from I almost said some other stuff. I think in Jawbreaker, with that chick that was in, I'm forgetting names right now, but she was in Jawbreaker with that other girl that was married to Marilyn Manson. So you can put the name in the comment. I must have missed it, I'm sorry. And then they had 2 children. Oh yeah, I also saw her also in Beverly Hills 90210. She was the girlfriend of Luke Perry's character Dylan, so I do remember her from there especially. Okay, so they were married for quite a bit. They have 2 beautiful daughters. Married for a long time. They had some scandals, I believe. So he's basically talking about his life. He basically talks about his life into acting, being married to Rebecca, how he's in love with her, and how he had the 2 daughters. And he's talking to somebody. So the person who, and you'll recognize the guy who he's talking to, Eric Dane was talking to. If you guys are Gleeks, you know Brad Falchuk was like one of the producers of Glee. I didn't watch Glee. I don't care for it. I'm never going to watch it. I know some people find the show great. I didn't. But that's how I know Brad Falchuk, and he's married to Gwen Paltrow right now. So, fortunate guy. Anyway, that's beside the point. So, Brad's basically interviewing Eric, and at that point, this had to be like, I want to say, a couple months, maybe 6 months, or a little bit more before his death. And nobody knew he was doing this. I don't think anybody knew he was doing this, because I just read the reports, and every time I saw that it was declining, he's in a wheelchair, and that was like not that long ago. I said, fuck. Because I remember like they first mentioned he had ALS. I'm like, oh man, not him. It's already bad enough that the guy James Vander Beek, he was dying of cancer. At the time, I thought I was going to get better, because there's that one picture where he was so skinny and frail. I'm like, damn, my God, that man does not have long to live. Then you're hearing Eric has ALS, and like all the people that I used to watch on TV, the 90 stars, declining in front of my eyes. And I'm only in my 30s. I watched these guys on my TV as like a child. I'm 36. James Vander wasn't even up to 50. Eric Dane was just 50. And I remember seeing these guys on my TV, and I'm just like, how is it that they're losing their lives that quick? It was just hard. But anyway, I remember hearing that. I'm like, the moment you hear someone has ALS, you just know they don't have long to live. So you could also see too, he was in a wheelchair, and he looked like he was frozen in the head. Like, it was so hard to see. So you also see that you were to watch a documentary. It was really a tough watch. So he again goes on about his life, and then towards the end, or before the end, Brad Falchuk says to Eric, hey, I'm going to leave you alone, and I'll let you say your last words to your daughters. And this really broke me. This part broke me a lot. I know it broke a lot of people. It was really, 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 really fucking hard to see. I'm not going to lie. So he basically tells his daughters, like, live your lives. Don't be afraid of what life has to offer. I can't remember the exact words, but he was really giving them good advice on how to live their lives and how to navigate their lives without him. Because I can relate to this, because I told you guys in the past, I lost my dad as well. I hate that they had to lose their dads at a younger age. To me, that's not fair. They're not even up to they're like teenagers now. I can't imagine losing my parent at that age, because you feel, when you're young and you lose a parent like that, you feel, as I mentioned in Lamar Odom's documentary, you feel kind of orphaned. You feel so orphaned, and that's such a short amount of time to have with your parent. I lost my dad at 32, 33. And I can say, you know what? Had amazing. I'm an adult, so it's a different thing when you lose your parents as an adult, because I'm like, I can at least say a lot of my life, my dad was there. But these kids, they can't say that. They can't say that. And my heart broke for them the moment he was saying on the camera and saying those things to daughters. So it must have been hard for them to see that. And my heart really goes out to those daughters. It really does. I did not know they released it the moment he passed. So I found out, I forgot what day he passed. I was on Facebook, one of those nostalgic posts. And then, of course, they're already talking about, oh, all these people who have passed, and like, please don't remind me. I understand these people are gone. And then I saw Eric Dane's picture. I'm like, he passed? What do you mean he passed? He just got diagnosed. Holy shit. I was, sorry. So 11 something, that's going to be where you need to put your headphones. But still, I was so shocked. I'm just like, how? So that means he was diagnosed a lot sooner than I thought. And he was declining way sooner than I thought. Because the day after I watched the documentary, and I lost it. I can't even watch Euphoria. I understand people are still watching it, but I can't watch that man, because he was already struggling enough to get his words out when they did that documentary, and that wasn't that long ago. So I don't see how I could sit and watch him act in another thing, because he was just in another thing playing a person with ALS. And you know, I'm glad he used mustered that little energy to still act, but it wasn't difficult for me to personally watch. So all that, this is to say, this is how I feel. It was really, really tough. I hate to personalize it, because again, I understand what it's like to lose a father. I saw my mom, so I'm lucky and grateful for that. But now I feel bad for those girls. It must be even worse for them. They're still young. I've lived majority of my life. I'm in my mid-30s. And I could say, you know what, my dad at least got to see me get into my RN program. He got to see me graduate from practical nursing programs from nursing school originally, and he was there for my LPN graduation. But it was horrible that, I mean, as bittersweet as that I got my RN, it hurts that my dad wasn't physically here for me to see that. So I had to go to his grave and let him know, hey, I got my RN, and I know you're proud of me from up there, but I wish you were here. Because as soon as I passed my PN one, he was the first guy I ran to. He's the first person I ran to. So he knew I passed because of the happy scream I had. But now I feel bad for those girls, because their father's not going to be there when they graduate from high school, college, when they get married, everything. And man, it was beautifully done. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to cry because I'm at work, or I'm in my downtime work, but it was beautifully done, and I understand why he did what he did. I get it, because he wants to use the little voice he has left to tell his daughters and the family he has that he loves them, even to his dying breath. And I understand why he did what he did, because life is too short. Life is way too short, and I don't think people realize that. I know in life we're allowed to make mistakes and grow and improve, but we have one life, and it's too short, and we need to cherish every little moment we have in this world. So that's how I feel about it. So I'm going to leave some links about ALS if you want to learn more about it. Rest and sleep in freaking peace, Eric. You're such a beautiful man inside and out. And I promise you, your little girls love you. They still love you. They still look up to you despite you not being here, because that's how I feel about my own dad. I miss my father so much, and I still look up to him, even though I know he's not physically here anymore. Your legacy will still live on and live through both of them. So that's all I have to say about that. Yeah, that's all I have to say. So I'm going to do a short tomorrow on ergonomic principles, because everyone should have an idea. That is for exclusively nursing students, but those who are going to take the NCLEX can get an idea or two out of it. And then on Monday, I'm going to probably think of a schedule Sunday night, and I'll probably just move on to think of some other ideas that will be good. I want to continue the med search series regarding the NGN style and having to compare the two diagnoses, because I think that's where people can falter on, and they are on your Q banks and ATIs. So anyways, I gotta get back to work, and sorry for the solemn mood. So you have a beautiful day. It's gorgeous out, and it's so hard to smile after doing this reaction. So hard. Anyways, take care. Have a lovely day. Bye.